Hi and welcome to the channel. Now today's video is all about the experience I had with this company called CEX, and this is a well-known Iron Street branded company that buy second-hand stuff ranging from mobile phones, tablets to computer games. And I think computer games at the moment, old vintage computer games, is a massive strong market at the moment, very strong. I was kind of involved in video games, vintage stuff, many years ago. I think it was about 1996, something like that, when I first kind of got involved with it, but I kind of dwindled out of it after a very short amount of time. I could tell you one or two stories, which if you want to stay to the end of the video, I'll rattle on about that right towards the end, my experience with I think it was a shop in Rathbone Place, London. They had an offshoot shop, and I managed to sell a load of stuff from car boots to them years ago. Like I say, this was many years ago now. And it kind of built up, that shop built up and kind of dwindled down. It was ahead of its time, I think, and it kind of crashed the market for second-hand games, and that kind of hit a low again. And all of a sudden, recently, I don't know, a few years ago now, it's kind of picked up. So you've got so many people on YouTube and that doing it now. It's massive. It's a really strong market. Obviously Nintendo bringing out back catalogues for all their games for the Switch, the Switch 2 and all that. But anyway, let's go to my experience. I had two consoles for sale. This is how the story started. I had a PlayStation 3, which I was no longer really using. I was playing Outrun on that here and there, Coast to Coast, Outrun 2, Coast to Coast, and Daytona USA. They were the games I was playing on there. I like a racing kind of game. I don't mind a platform game, and that is me kind of tied up game wise. That's the kind of games I play. Some shooting games as well. Sorry, some shooting games, not third person, but shoot 'em ups, like the old shoot 'em ups. So I had that PlayStation 3, and I had an Xbox 360 that I wanted to sell. So the PlayStation 3 and both of them are stuck on eBay. I'm not a great fan of selling stuff too cheap on eBay. I just want to give you, before I do rattle on about the videos, but I will get to this if you're interested in how I got here. Selling stuff on eBay, I think if you sell a game too cheap, you're in trouble, kind of thing. I've had, in past experience, it's happened too many times to me. You've got an Xbox 360 game or something, and it's selling for about £4, so you charge £4. Obviously they pay the postage on top. It's cost them an extra £3, £7. You send it off to them, and I've had so many people come back and say it don't work, it skips, stuff like that, and it doesn't. I've played it on mine perfect, but for some reason it don't work on their machine, or they're putting a fast one, which has happened a few times on a few Nintendo DS cartridges I had. And once you sell them that cheap, they've got you by the short and curlies, because for you to get it back, it's going to cost you £4 or something like postage for you to get it back through eBay. So now you've done the postage there and the postage back. You've done £7 for a game that you've only sold for £4. You've still got the game, and you're could have the same trouble again. So to me, selling anything too cheap on eBay is just not worth the while. People do it, don't get me wrong, but for me, my personal experience is really not worth the while. Unless you've got something for £15, £20 onwards, then even then you've got people who want to send it back to you thinking they can get a little bit off. I had a camera, doesn't work, mate. The SD card don't work. I've tested it, works fully. Like, I want it for half price. And you think, well, it don't work. Why do you want it for half price? You wouldn't want it at all if it don't work. But no, this geezer wanted 50% off because the camera didn't work. Which, well, yeah, really. So I said to him, well, lucky enough, you only live around the corner. And the very next email I got back, oh, I've got it working. It says it all, doesn't it? It says it all. So that is the trouble. With this place here, hopefully I'm going to go in there, I'm going to give them my unit, they're going to test it out, and they're going to say, yeah, Mick, here's the money, thanks very much, see you later. Any other problems, that's down to us now. So that's the idea. So anyway, the PlayStation 3 got the money I wanted for it. It was cheap. PlayStation 3, 2 controllers, about 7 or 8 games I think I sold for about £30. That's cheap, but it was a pick-up only. You've got to reduce the price for a pick-up because no one's going to be interested. So the Xbox 360 was up for, I'll show you the actual advert very quickly. It's here. It was up on eBay for £25, sorry, £25 I put this up for, with 8 games. These roughly go, they can vary a lot, but you know, one that ain't in great condition, probably £30–35, something like that, up to one that's in really good condition. Some sellers bundle it up, make it all look gnarly and all that. They put, you know, business sellers kind of thing up for about £80, something like that, with a few games in there. So they vary in between, but for the kind of condition, mine was in good condition, the kind of condition my console was in, the games I kind of had tagging along with it, and I wanted to pick up, so if I wanted to sell it normally on eBay, I probably may have got £50 for it. I may have got that if I was lucky, that kind of ballpark area, but I could have had some comebacks. I've got to post it. I've had so many parcels where it's been sent to someone and they just leave it on the doorstep. You get a picture of a doorstep and the person ain't even there, like, you know, they haven't even collected it yet and stuff like that. It's a bit of bit of a nightmare really. It can be a bit of a nightmare. For something like this, I just want to get rid of it. I'm not too worried. Someone can have a little bit of a bargain there, 25 quid, they got a little bit of a bargain, but it didn't sell. It didn't sell, so I thought, well, that's it, I won't bother with that then. So I was flicking through eBay and places, not eBay, but the web, should I say, on the Google and all places, looking around, thinking what I want to do with it. No one's interested at the moment, maybe so I'll put it aside and come back to it later on. And I thought, let's have a look at this CEX, you know what I mean? I've had experiences before, years ago with these kind of places, and for instance, long video, I ain't told nothing about it ever, but we'll get there. I just want to give you some background here, really, why I'm always dubious about these places. Is that many years ago, me and my mate used to go up Notting Hill Gate here in the UK a lot, and there used to be a second-hand shop there, it was like a computer exchange kind of shop. It done hi-fi, done everything, done all bits and pieces and everything, electrical and whatever. And records, they used to do record tape exchange, I think it was called. Could even still be there, I don't know. If they wanted something that's going to sell really well, they took any record, no matter what record you had, they would buy it off you. So that sounds great until you actually get there. And when you ring them up on the phone, it's always, oh, bring it up, we'll have a look at the condition. Yeah, we're definitely interested in buying. Any chance of a price? No, I can't give it to you on the phone. You have to bring it up. Bosh, the phone goes down, so of course you've made your way. Well, me and my mate, same mate, there twice. We took over 300 records one day. He had LPs, 300. And the geezer's flicking through them, picking some out here, there and everywhere, flicking through them, picking out, looking at the condition and all this, and putting them aside, putting about 10 aside. So I thought, well, them 10 have got to be worth a nice few quid, like with me. So we're sitting there, we waited. I went on about half hour this, and we had about 300 records, don't forget. And he went, £3.10. And we looked at him and went, yeah, he goes, a penny each. See, they don't refuse it because they're going to give you a penny now. You're not going to accept a penny for your LP, are you? But it's just letting you know they're not really interested in it. But they still will buy it off you for a penny and probably put them up for 50p, a pound each or something like that. I don't know. But so that was one instance. Another instance, he rung up and said, I've got a fruit machine. That's the kind of tip. They had, what I say, a wide range of stuff. A fruit machine, and it took 3 of us to lift it up on the car on his roof rack. Drove it to London, believe it or not, on a roof rack, this fruit machine, proper fruit machine. You're getting a pub, club, that kind of thing. I think the jackpot was about 2 quid back then. This is how many years ago it was. Drove it all the way there. We got it up. People, like, as you're going down the road, as you can imagine, driving along with a fruit machine stuck on top of your roof, you're getting a few looks, people looking at you and that as you get in there. Anyway, we got there. He said, well, it's on the. He said, well, bring it round. So we had to park up. You can't just park straight outside the shop, double yellow lines, all that kind of stuff. So he brings it round and gets it in the shop, plugs it in, turns it on, and he went, oh, yeah, tried it out and all that. He went, yeah, 3 quid. My mate went, 3 quid? He went, yeah, 3 quid. He goes, the bulbs are worth more than that. Just crap about the bulbs, which it is, obviously. And that was it. So back on the bloody car, get it back home kind of thing. But anyway, just to let you know that some of these shops can be a bit of a rip-off. You've probably experienced that yourself. So I was just thinking to myself, well, what am I going to get for this? My Xbox 360, I want to hit £25 with my 8 games. I want to get to 25 quid. So I've gone on there and I've typed in the search for it. Now this is the sell bit, but down the bottom here, I will put a picture up on the screen, is what they buy it in at. It says trading for cash, £37. So I thought, that's handy. I thought I only wanted 25 and I get £37 for the console. I've got a few games as well, so it's going to go up a little bit more. If I wanted to trade in with a voucher to buy something else in the shop, they give me 53 quid. And I've been in here a few times, I always thought they were a bit on the dear side. But then I can see now why they are a little bit on the dear side, because they're probably catering for people who's got these vouchers. They're getting like, what's that? We're getting another, I can't, quick maths, my maths, £18 more, 18 fours, probably another 40%, is it? Something like extra, 50%, something like extra that we normally would get, 40% for cash, so 40% extra in a voucher. So that's why these are quite expensive, I would say, on the bit on the expensive side. If you didn't have a voucher, if you was going in there buying something cash, which people do still, if you're just buying a one-off game for a tenner, it ain't too much at the end of the world. But if you're buying something 300 or 400 quid, you're probably maybe paying a little bit more on top, I think. I'm guessing a bit, but a bit more on top than you think you would have to pay. But I think it's catering for these people with a voucher, kind of in the club. They're in the club kind of thing. And they're going to sell it for 80 quid, which I thought was a little bit on the steep side. Something like that in a second-hand shop, I would say, even though they're on an high street and that, would retail 60, 65 pounds, something like that, I would have thought. But I think that's, like I say, because it's trading voucher. But anyway, so my experiences now. So I've typed in all the bits and bobs I've got, which ain't a lot, but a few bits and bobs I've got, which are there. And actually I missed a couple of games out because one of these games had a disc missing. I didn't realise at the time. And one of them only went, so they weren't really interested. I thought, what's the point of adding an extra game for a penny? It wasn't really worth it. So I stuck it all in this site. I'll show you these pictures on the screen as well. Looks a bit crappy, that picture, but just to give you an idea, I've got £45 10p they're offering me here, £45 10p. Now, do I want to post it to them, or do I want to drop it off of their shop? And I didn't really want the hassle of posting stuff. I would have put it on eBay, and I would have put it postage on eBay, not collection only. I would have put the postage on eBay and upped it a little bit, and probably sold it for eBay. So I didn't really want to post it. Got to find a box, got to bundle it up. But I've got a drop and go kind of thing. Drop and go, I think it's called, where you just bundle it up in a carrier bag, go there, give it to them, and they give you the money. This is, I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to work yet. But this is this kind of idea I had. So I went for the drop and go, and that's what I did. It was a Monday morning. I got the quote. It said it lasted for 3 days. I went on the 3rd day. They give you 3 days, and these prices can vary. Got 3 days to get down there. 3 days. I've turned up on the 3rd day. And it's a bit of a queue. It's a busy shop. They're busy people, like, you know what I mean. It's a busy shop. Lots of people in there buying stuff and looking around and whatever. There are 3 people serving, which is great. But we had a bit of a queue. 10-15 minutes in the queue. No worries. Turned up, said to the bloke, I've got a number here. I've done something online. Drop and go. Given me the number. He said, that's it. He said, you've got an Xbox 360, 6 games. I said, yes, correct. He looks at the bag. He said, 6 games. He said, it's all there. Plonks it behind the counter. He said, that's it, all booked in. So you get no receipt or nothing. Always a bit. It's not a lot of money. If I was dropping something off for £4,000, I may be a bit more worried. Where's my receipt? But we don't get any receipt here. This is how they operate. No receipt. And that's it. So now I'm thinking, well, when's it all come through? So that's where I looked around the internet, thinking, how long do I wait? Not that I'm in panic. I just wanted to make sure they haven't put it round the side and forgot about it, kind of thing. You know how things can happen. So I looked online. It's not great with information. A few people asking some questions. So that's the reason I've done this video, really, as well. Just maybe if people are wondering how it happens, is it worth the while? Is it worth the hassle? This is going to be my opinion. I'll tell you what happens. So I looked online. It said that it takes them the rest of the day to test it out in the shop. Next day you should get an email come through saying they received it. Then after that you'll get another email saying they're going to pay you. And this can vary. When you go on it says £45, but this can differ by £5. They could take £5 off if they think the condition of any of these games or the console is not as good as it should be, kind of thing. For that kind of age, I would have said, obviously age related kind of thing. But mine was in good condition, obviously. It wasn't in brilliant condition, had a few little marks on it, but it was in good condition. So I wasn't too worried. It's above the £25 that I wanted for it anyway. So the first day went past. I dropped it off on the Monday. So now I'm expecting Tuesday, some action maybe coming through Tuesday. So something's going to come through or something like that. And nothing happened Tuesday. So I was a little bit disappointed. I thought, well, nothing's happened Tuesday. I was maybe expecting something that they received it. But Wednesday morning, first thing Wednesday morning, bonk, there it was. Saying we've received it, it's been processed, and we're going to give you £45 10p, which we quoted you. That is the thing. It's been passed on to our head office to make payment. I've had to put my bank details in on their website for where it's going to get paid. So I looked online again, trying to get a bit of information, and people were saying it takes between 1 and 3 days for that. Once they've cleared it, kind of thing, it's all working test procedure. 1 to 3 days, and the money will hit your bank account. So I thought, well, we'll see what happens. So the very next day, I decided to have a look, and lo and behold, this morning, this is when I'm doing the video, this morning the money has gone in my account, and I've got sent another receipt from them that there's me payment details. This is the stuff I've sold to them. That's my receipt, and the money has been paid into my bank. So checked with my bank account, and there it is, £45 and 10p. So for my experience, this is my experience only. I just want to give you, like I say, an idea of how they operate. It's not like that. They've got other things to test and whatever. It's going to take a little bit of time. If you're not in a rush, you could queue up, I suppose, not do it online and go to the actual store and give it to them. But I don't think they're going to test it in 5 minutes. They'll probably tell you to come back in a couple of hours and go back there and then give you the cash over the counter. But if you're not in that much of a hurry, you just want to drop it off. You don't want to be hanging around for 2 hours, walking around the local area kind of thing, doing nothing. Just come back home, just drop it off, come back home. And I mean, this is a big company now, it's dealing in tons, and you go in there, got millions of pounds worth of gear, got millions of CDs, millions of everything. So it's a big company. Obviously mistakes get made now and again. Any company, no matter who it is, everyone makes mistakes. But from my experience, I've been really pleased with that. And not that I've got anything else to sell at the moment, but if I did have anything else, I think I would definitely give these a look. You know what I mean? Especially, I'm not a greedy person. I don't sell things right. If you're one of these people who wants top dollar for everything, then maybe this isn't for you. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you're better just sending it off and taking a little bit of a chance, which I think you are doing these days with postmen and that, just dropping it outside and disappearing kind of thing. if you're one of these people that, you know, want top dollar on that, it's probably not for you. But if you're one of these people who want to take a realistic price, and I think this is a good, you know, this is a fair price. So, you know, I don't think they're having anyone over here. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you think, well, these companies are having people over, they're taking advantage of people, maybe not having no money at the time and they're desperate for the money to pay their bills or something like that. I don't think that's the case. You know, for me, it's worked out pretty well. You know what I mean? For me personally, like say, some people are greedy and some people think maybe I should get a little bit more. But I think also, if you're one of these people that's into it and going to be buying and selling stuff and you're going to be swapping a few things over, don't forget that voucher thing they do as well, because that kind of gives you a little bit more, what is it, 30-40% more extra on top to what you normally get for cash if you wanted to buy something else in there, which I think is a little bit dearer than they should be, a bit dearer than what they maybe you could get it for. But don't forget, does that extra, you know, if it's saying just 20% dearer, but you're getting 40% extra for the cash, kind of counterbalance that out into your favour. Something to think about, I think. So that's it. That was my experience with CEX. I'll definitely do it again. And that's it. Until the next video, I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.